It's time for Dodger baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. What a snap. This is what an ace looks like.
And tagged out is Riley, a double play.
Dodgers have won it all in 2020.
And welcome to the Dodgers Nation postgame show. I'm your host, Doug McCain. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. So the Dodgers, they scare us at the end, but they hold on for a 5-3 win. Just 3 outs is all they needed with Phil Bigford there in the top of the ninth, but they get 3 runs, and they really put a scare into the Dodgers. But the Dodgers win 5 of their last 6 games. They win the series. They're now 39-26, a game behind the Giants in the NL West. But moral of the story, don't use Phil Bigford in late innings against lefties. I mean, you saw Brock Holt gets that leadoff double there. Kenley Jansen gives up 2 singles there when he comes in. He had given only 7 hits for the entire season, none of the month of June. And, yeah, they put a real scare into the Dodgers, a real opportunity to make things interesting, tie things up. But Kenley Jansen does get the save, his 15th save of the year, gives it those 2 hits, gives up no runs, 20 pitches. But let me know where you represent Dodgers Nation from today. Give me those fire Dodger takes down below in the comment section. All your thoughts, comments, and questions. Give me your reaction down below in the comment section. I got my man Anthony Keene in the stream. Yo, happy Sunday, DMAC. What up, Anthony Keene? Never a doubt. That's from Mike Hoffer. Jansen still sucks. Okay, that's from Mike Geller. Dodger Baseball over on YouTube. Jesus Christ, that was not even funny. Jansen is underrated. That's from Nathan. Kyle G, crazy game. Daniel Loris, huge sigh of relief. Hit that like button and go Dodgers. My man Daniel Loris on YouTube. Exactly. Hit that like button over on YouTube. If you're watching the show on Twitter, be sure to retweet. If you're watching on Facebook, be sure to share the show. But a big sigh of relief because the Dodgers did not need to blow that one late. You know the game they blew against the Padres earlier in the season. They had a big lead in that one, let that one slip away. You just got to take care of business. And Phil Bigford actually had been pitching well for the Dodgers. Wasn't his best outing. His stuff has been really solid. Just did not have the command there in the bottom of that 9th inning. He gives up that leadoff double to Holt. Then he walks Heim, and then Martin singled to center to give the Rangers their first run of the night to make it 5-1 Dodgers. And then kind of Falafa single to left, and really just perfectly placed that single right there to beat the shift. They get another run to make it 5-2. So 2 walks, 2 singles for Bigford. Spicoli did not have it today. And then Kenley Jansen comes, and then 2 walks, 2 singles, and then Calhoun singled to right to make it 5-3. So no outs, 5-3. Garcia singles to center to load the bases, and then Kenley Jansen, he gives those 2 hits, and he escapes there. So nice job by the Dodgers and Kenley Jansen to get out of that one with the win. That's the most important thing. But it looked like it was going to be a stress-free, business-like win, and the Dodgers were just going to cruise in this one. But they have to make it interesting because they're the Dodgers, and they want to get that heartbeat racing for you guys and make sure that you don't get bored, right? You gotta get ready. But what up, DMAC over on Dong? What's up, DMAC Dong over on YouTube? What up, Dong? We got Diane Schroeder. Hello from San Jose del Cabo. Diane Schroeder over on YouTube. By the way, who's your player of the game? Let me know who you got as your player of the game. You got some options. Gavin Lux had a good game. How about Chris Taylor making the play there at the end? He is playing a really great second base. Just sparkling defense all over the diamond for CT3. You saw the backhand stop he made there with the crossbody throw there in the 8th inning. And this guy, he can just do anything defensively. With the glove, he's just so solid, and he makes an impact on the game with the stick and with the glove. Those are the kind of players that I like. But congrats to Kenley from Deborah Young. Dodgers finished strong. That's from It's Richard over on YouTube. Where's Bellinger? That's from Kirk over on YouTube. Belly was available to pinch hit today But Dave Roberts decided to give him the day off, and with the 5-0 lead for in this game, really was not a spot where you'd want to have him up there in a pinch-hitting situation. But he was available, so that is the good news. Who the F is Phil Bickford, and why is he closing games? Christian Lopez. He had a 5-run lead there, and like I said, Phil Bickford had really pitched well for the Dodgers. He really was really showing some real growth. I mean, this guy was one of the most highly touted, highly heralded prospects in baseball at one point in his career, but unfortunately, it just wasn't his inning. I mean, you're going to have innings like that. You got to come in there, focus, get the job done. We got ZMAC player of the game, 3 hits. Yeah, it was great to see Zach McKinstry get it going today. That was one of the big takeaways from today's game because Zach McKinstry, since coming off the IL, he was 2 for 23 with no extra base hits in 10 games. Zach McKinstry today ends up reaching base all 4 times, goes 3 for 3, had the 2 RBI double there in the 3rd inning, and yeah, he definitely deserves some player of the game consideration. Who else you guys got, though? We got, that was intense from Kevin Rios. I like that one. German Armanta, CT3 was on point even in the most difficult position. He's made every defensive play look like a cakewalk. It's a great point from Jermaine Armenta over on Facebook, is that the great ones make it look easy, and he definitely made it look easy today. We got Deborah Young. We took the series, but it should have been a sweep. Deborah Young, yeah, I mean, should have been a sweep. But you lose 12-1 to yesterday, you just never know in this game. I mean, you never know what's going on in Major League Baseball on a day-to-day basis. That's why I call him Dodger Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because one day they look great, the bats are hitting, the arms are doing what they're supposed to do, and then yesterday, fortunately, it wasn't Trevor Bauer's best night. The offense couldn't get it going. You're going to have games like that, but like Joe Davis said on Twitter today, it was the first time in Major League history that a team had beaten a team by a score of 12-1, and then the very next night lost by a score of 1-12. So things happen in Major League Baseball. We got Dave Roberts pitches, the worst guys in the bullpen. We got Anthony Keene. I got Mookie for player of the game. Yeah, Mookie for player of the game. 2 for 3, had the home run, he had the walk. Mookie Betts really had a nice game. And the thing with the Dodgers, lead off a first inning batting average has been an issue. Scoring early, and that's a big, you saw today. They were able to get on top early in this game, made a huge difference. They had a comfortable lead for the majority of this game. And then in the bottom of the 3rd inning, that was really the big inning for the Dodgers. Well, we'll go back to let's go to the start at the bottom of the 2nd inning. So Mookie Betts, he draws the leadoff walk, and then Gavin Lux, he doubles to left center. Betts scores from first, and you saw there Adolis Garcia. By the way, I like those shades. Those are some fresh shades by Adolis Garcia. He mishandled it for a second. That allowed Betts to score from first. Dodgers take a 1-0 lead, and then Chris Taylor, he was hit by the pitch. Thankfully, it was hit right on that elbow guard, so no damage done, but your heart stops a little bit anytime any of these Dodgers get hit these days. And then Beatty grounded into a double play. And then with Lux at second, A.J. Pollock, he strikes out swing. So they had an opportunity to put up some more runs in that inning, but scoring first is very important for this team. And when Mookie's has it going, and when Mookie's doing Mookie things, they're going to have more opportunities to do that. I think that's kind of been one of the big problems with this offense, is not getting runs early in games. And with Mookie Betts starting to swing the bat much better these days, I think you're going to see that change. So Mookie Betts definitely gets a lot of credit for today's win. Then the bottom of the 3rd, Mookie hits his 7th home run of the year, a little oppo-boppo for Betts, and then Gavin Lux singled to center. He also had a really nice game today. Gavin Lux is really starting to put it together. He went through a little bit of a slump there, but nice day for Gavin Lux. 2 for 4, had an RBI double, had the single there, and then after that, Chris Taylor singled to right, giving the Dodgers runners on first and second, no outs, and then Beatty ground to first. Taylor and Beatty grounded to first and Taylor to second. That advanced the runners, and then A.J. Pollock grounded to a fielder's choice. So then in that situation, Zach McKinstry comes up. He doubles to left, scoring A.J. Pollock and Taylor. That made it 4-0 Dodgers. And then after that, Rayleigh, it was nice to see Luke Rayleigh get a single today. He goes 1 for 4. Much better at-bats than we saw early in the year with Luke Rayleigh. And so he reaches on an infield single. Barnes flied out to end the inning, but the Dodgers get 3 in the third. The Mookie Betts leadoff home run and the Zach McKinstry double. So like you guys said, the Zach McKinstry coming alive. He's your player of the game. And then Mookie Betts both contributing on offense. But here we go. We got, and the Giants lost. So there you go. Pat Lieberman over on Facebook. Giants lose today, so 1 game behind in the NL West. Their offense is starting to have difficulty scoring runs. So if you look at the Giants, their next 3 games, they host Arizona for 4, and then they got 3 against the Phillies. So they got Diamondbacks and Phillies, and the Dodgers, they have Phillies and Diamondbacks. So both these teams playing similar schedules. And hopefully by the end of next week or at some point during this upcoming week, the Dodgers will be back on top in the NL West. If you're wondering about the Padres, who won today, they beat the Mets. They play 3 games at Colorado, then host the Reds for a 4-game set. The Reds, potent offense. They can really sitting around 500, but I like that Reds team. They're fun to watch. Moose, we got you can't leave Bigford in that long when he's blowing it. That's from Moose 1032. We got Sport. Yeah, I mean, hopefully he comes out there. Mark Pryor kind of settles him down a little bit, and gives Kenley Jansen an opportunity to warm up. And Kenley Jansen, 2 innings, 2 hits there, but was definitely not expecting to come in and get this save today, and he totally did with his 15th save of the year. So a little bit of the benefit, got to cut him a little break there, cut him some slack for the fact that you got a 5-run lead, you only need 3 outs. Hopefully, you're not going to be used in that situation. But 2 hits, 2 walks by Bickford, and you're going to see Kenley Jansen. But bottom line is he came in and he slammed the door shut. He did it. It wasn't easy. He didn't come in and just do it right away. But he ends up going an inning, gives up 2 hits, 20 pitches for Kenley Jansen today, 17 for strikes. So that was big. 4 for 5 on first pitch strikes, and the rest of the bullpen pitched well today too. You got scoreless save for Phil Bickford. You got scoreless innings from Blake Trine and Victor Gonzalez, and then Walker Buehler, save for some command issues early on. He was solid. Like I was been saying for weeks, it is a good thing that he's learning how to be so effective without relying on the punch-outs. I mean, that is the thing with Walker Buehler. I mean, I want that big double-digit 15-16 punch-out game, but today, 6 innings pitched, gave up 5 hits, had 3 walks, in 5 punch-outs, through 96 pitches. So it's nice to see Walker Buehler, who is by far the most solid pitcher on the Dodgers this year, the only Dodger pitcher to go at least 6 innings in each of his outings this season. And I'm telling you, he's still the best pitcher on the Dodgers. I really don't think that's really a conversation, in my opinion. I mean, who do you guys think? If you had 1 game to win, who do you want on the mound? To me, I don't even think about it for a split second. To me, it's Walker effing Buehler. But let me know. I want your takes on that one down below. We got second. He's Let's Go Dodgers. What a game. We got Kirk Heat. Kevin Rios. I nearly had a heart attack there. Hey, man. It's all good. Dodgers won. Pound for pound. Dodgers 1 game out of first place where we belong. We got Anthony Keene. Can we make sure CT3 gets to the All-Star game this year? Yeah, go vote. You can vote 5 times a day. 5 times a day. I urge you to do so. It'd be great for Chris Taylor, but the other thing I think about, man, if he makes an All-Star team, is he going to be too expensive for the Dodgers to re-sign? Because he's a guy who's going to be a free agent after this season. He makes that All-Star team. I mean, he's going to probably get a nice little bag for himself. And does that make it more difficult for the Dodgers to re-sign him? I think he likes his role in LA. He's a super utility guy. But you're right. I definitely want to see him make that All-Star team at Coors Field, especially with Max Muncy, Max Muncy will be back for the All-Star game. And hopefully, I mean, He's going to travel for this team on the road trip. They don't think it's going to be very serious. It's going to be a short 10-day IL stint for Max Muncy. At least that's the hope. But, yeah, I mean, right now you got Chris Taylor, Max Muncy in the mix for the All-Star game. Justin Turner's played really gotten it going lately, kind of quietly. He actually is the team leader in hits. But here we go. Matty Mag. Dave falls in love with the bum of the week, Santana, Bickelstein, or whatever his name is. Yeah, just read your comments because this is what we do here. We keep it real on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. Paul Vaughn, Rios, I did have a heart attack. Okay, responding to him, we almost did. Paul Vaughn did have a heart attack. Paul Vaughn, hopefully you're getting the medical attention you need, and you're okay. Matty Dodge, we got Zebra Young. ZMAC finally hitting his stride. Was so happy for him. Orlando, Bigford almost became Okay, I can't read that one. Augie Garcia, watching from Salinas go Dodger Blue. Diane Schroeder, thank God I'm here in Cabo and enjoy rather than stressing out over Bigford. Hey, man, you gotta celebrate. You gotta enjoy that vacation. But yeah, they made it interesting at the end. There's no question about it. But look, I mean, sometimes the silver lining in these games with the close calls is you kind of learn what you have in some of your players. And Phil Bigford really has stepped up. I mean, he's really pitched well in his opportunities for the Dodgers when the Dodgers have been decimated by so many different injuries. So some days they're going to come through, some days they're not. We've seen Nate Jones look good on some appearances, some days he doesn't. So you never know with some of these guys, and you don't know, especially from a managerial standpoint, what your trust factor is with these different players because they're not your guys. You don't necessarily know how to trust them and if you want to see them out on the mound in these high leverage situations. But like I said, it's a 5-0 lead. You got to, if you're in the bigs and you're coming out of that pen, I don't care who the opposing team is. I don't care what their lineup looks like. You got to find a way to get 3 outs to win the game with a 5-run lead. And like I say, you just didn't have it today, and you're going to have those days through an 162-game season. But McKinstry is starting to heat up again. We got Giants lose, Dodgers win. Good day from Jaime Gonzalez over on YouTube. Mookie is starting to heat up too. Yeah, exactly. It's like the NBA Jam. He's heating up. Exactly. I mean, Mookie Betts, if you look at the numbers, last 7 games, that kind of stuff, they probably wouldn't indicate that necessarily, but you're seeing when he's having his good games. I mean, hitting an opposite field home run to me is very telling for how Mookie Betts' swing is going. And you're seeing he got that other little bloop single there later in the game. You saw he turned on the Jets to score from first. So to me, like I was saying, I didn't think that it really was the injuries for Mookie Betts. I know a lot of people out there were saying it's a shoulder and it's a back. Yes, I don't think he was at 100%. I absolutely don't think so. But to me, I think that it just Mookie was just out of sync. He didn't have that rhythm. He was going through a bad slump. And if you look at all these great players' careers, they're gonna have stretches where they've gone through some pretty rough slumps. And unfortunately, that was a rough slump for Mookie. But look, he's playing with joy again. You're seeing the smiles. You're seeing all the. You saw what he did with Brock Holt when he's rounding third base on that trot. He just kind of messed with his old boy Brock Holt, aka Matt Damon. By the way, man, come on. So that was good to see too. And, and just this team just really – he's the catalyst. He sets the tone. He brings an energy to this lineup when he's having success. So, to me, it's so important. I can't stress that enough, is the Dodgers getting Mookie Betts going and Mookie Betts playing like the $365 million player that we know he is. And, he can really carry offenses through stretches. So, look, Corey Seager comes back soon. Bellinger, hopefully he can find a rhythm. Max Muncy, hopefully that he can be back in 10 days. Zach McKinstry having a good day today too. Hopefully that is a sign of things to come for this Dodgers offense too. But I want to know if down below in the comments, guys, if you had one game with everything on the line, who would you pick? Let me know on that mound. Bueller. We got Talon says Bueller. I'm glad our boys have been V-Track, umpire strike zone. Umpire strike zone hurt the Dodgers. Yeah, that pitch, he was not the umpire. I think it was Joe West there, right? He did not do him any favors with that pitch, bottom of the zone. That was definitely a strike there, but unfortunately he did not get the call. But Walker, no doubt, from pound for pound. I agree. Walker, Urias, that's from Pat Lieberman. We got Deborah Young. I've been preaching all year, get Hader. So you want to see Josh Hader and lefty out of that pen. And look, I think that's the point I want to come back at that to Deborah Young is, look, it's okay, Pat. You're all good. I misspell things all the time. No worries. With Hader is, look, does he rely on that spin rate? He's not one of those big spin guys. So I think that you're going to see values of different players kind of fluctuating. We're going to see once this crackdown really goes down with the sticky stuff. How is that going to impact the pitchers? And we're going to see which pitchers were effective, which ones were relying on it a little heavily for them to have their success. And Josh Hader is definitely not one of those guys. So if you're going to make a move for him, you could do that with all that confidence. But you got V-Track has Bauer. V-Track has Kershaw too. Okay. V-Track has Urias. Maybe you're ranking them, I think. V-Track, I see. You're ranking them. I got it. Bueller, Bauer, Kershaw, Urias. I like that. We need our guy Bigford in the All-Star game. That's from Talon over on YouTube. Gratterall to close, still get Knable too. That's from Javier. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully Gratterall can come back He was kind of working on his command down in AAA, but I'm hoping to see him come back, have a little more command, be that guy, another energizer out of that pen. Triple digits, great at throwing strikes, punch the strike zone, inducing soft contact. So we just need all of our bullets coming out of that pen. CT3 is a must. Craig Osterberg Walker, that's over on YouTube, for the pitcher you would like to see out there with everything on the line. Has Bruzdar made any AAA appearances yet? Minor Argueta, yeah. Mr. Death. Oh, wait. Mr. Trevor. Oh, my bad. I skipped a couple. Trevor and the pitching staff need to fix their balls and walks. What's your take? P.S. The win was good, but scary too, from Mr. Death. My take is, look, I mean, you got to command the strike zone. You got to be, like Clayton Kershaw said the other day, I mean, he made some adjustments, and he started to throw more strikes. Walker Buehler, that was, to me, I think, just an aberration. I mean, really, when it comes to command, Walker Buehler has been on his game this year. I mean, that's been one of the big differences this year is Walker Buehler, or one of the things that he's been really good at this year is just throwing strikes and not getting himself into those bases loaded jams that we saw in the postseason. He's pitched very well. As far as Trevor Bauer, I think that Trevor Bauer is going to adjust. Daniel Murray, hey Doug, hey Daniel. I think Trevor Bauer is going to adjust, and we're going to see a little more 2018 Trevor Bauer. I don't think you're going to see that dominant throw up pass guys Trevor Bauer as often. I still think he's going to get the punch outs, but I think you're going to see some more off-speed stuff from Trevor Bauer. And as far as command issues, yeah, I mean, you got to paint that zone with strikes and attack hitters. And, yeah, that's when guys get into trouble. We got the offense, didn't help Bauer, but he still let 5 or 6 runs asked from Jay Cruz. Yeah, I mean, Bauer really has not looked good and not looked great. He hasn't looked like a $40 million pitcher in a month, if we're being completely honest. He just hasn't. And I know he's been sick, and I know that I mean, his RPMs on his spin rate down over 200 RPMs since he probably stopped using as much sticky stuff, or stopped using the sticky stuff. But yeah, I mean, he'll pick it up though. I mean, he's gone through stretches in his career where he has some lulls in the year. But I mean, going back to he had a really nice stretch from the Angels to the Marlins to the Giants game. Gave up no earned runs, but at Houston gives up the 2 bombs. That one really no run support. That one gives up the 4 hits, had that rough first inning. But I think with Trevor Bauer, the concerning thing is those big innings with the big pitch counts, and then he finds a way to stay in the game, and he'll still give you those 6 innings. But you see, like yesterday, 117 pitches, 126 against the Giants, 113 against the Marlins. How will that work in a full 162-game season coming off a 60-game season? I think that's a big question at this point. And if you're the Dodgers, you're basically are on, pretty much like these one-year deals where you can opt in, but so they're not worried about the long-term of Trevor Bauer, so they're just going to kind of ride him. And I think there's kind of an agreement with the two when they sign it that Trevor Bauer likes to pitch deep into games. So here we go. Kevin Rios, hey Doug, I'm going to be going to watch the Dodgers game this coming Saturday against the Diamondbacks. That's what's up, man. You're going to be yelling this. Let's go Dodgers. Nope, only 4 runs yesterday. Bullpen allowed 8. Yeah, yesterday Trevor Bauer gave up 4 runs on 9 hits, had 8 punch-outs and 2 walks. We got Javier is right. Yeah, let's go Dougie. Best post-game show, best in the game. Best of baseball. Thanks, Moose. Appreciate that. You guys, why the near meltdown, Dave? Yeah, definitely felt like a near meltdown. Mr. Depp, do you think Bauer will fix his command by the next start? That's one thing about Mr. Depp. I definitely think he will. Think about Trevor Bauer. Is this guy's going to put in the work? He's going to put in the work, and he's going to find out exactly why he's not doing whatever it is he doesn't feel like he's doing at an optimal level. So I have all the confidence in the world that we're going to get a quality more than solid Trevor Bauer. It's just I think there's going to be a little bit of adjustment phase, and then he'll hopefully get into a nice little group. Because, I mean, you just can't deny the fact that, look, I mean, his spin rate was best in baseball. I mean, we're talking guy hitting 2,900 plus RPMs. When that declines, you're going to see a dip in how effective you are and how dominant you are. Those are just the facts. I mean, is there anyone that doesn't deny that using spider tack and these foreign substances doesn't help you tremendously? I mean, I think that's the case. And like you said, I mean, like Bauer said himself, he didn't deny using it. I mean, he didn't deny using it. And he said in 2018 he just wanted to have a level playing field. So he's going to get what he wanted. And I think that'll help our offense. But I still think that Trevor Bauer was the right move for the Dodgers. I don't think that the Dodgers will have Bauer's remorse. I think that they need a solid starter. They print money, and he's not going to affect any future signings. So, and you had the fact that they lose Dustin May for the entire year. So I'm more than happy with Trevor Bauer on this team, and I think that he will find a way to fix those command issues and really start to be that really solid. He's already been solid this whole year, but I think you're going to see him have more efficient outings in the coming months. As of now, it will be Butane, Fouchot from Dodgers. We got Urias from Josh Hickman. Yeah, Urias to me is the wild card. The Urias, that's the wild card because Josh Hickman over on YouTube. If Urias is hot and he's in one of those grooves where he goes into God mode, then you might want to have the conversation. But the bottom line is Walker Buehler, every single October, he just steps up and he really just pitches lights out when you need him the most. So when games get, when the situations get tight like his pants, that's when he's at his best, and that's why I'm going Butane. Anthony Keene, one game for your life on the current team. You got to go with Buehler, but Urias got to be considered. Exactly. When is Max coming back? I think Max will be back. They said it's going to be a short stint on the 10-day IL. But, Steven, I hate Roberts in the ninth. We got, is Bauer out? Is Bauer without sticky stuff overrated? That's from Danielle Mari. I don't think he's overrated per se. I think that, look, I mean, it's a couple of factors. I mean, so you had sticky stuff. You had the Reds in a 60-game season with offensively one of the worst divisions in baseball. But he did shove against he had the 12-punchy game against the Braves, and he did shove against them. And I think that, look, this guy he knows how to pitch. He knows he can be crafty if he needs to. He doesn't need to be a guy that just goes out there and relies on his heater. I mean, the interesting thing with Bauer is you'll see he'll throw a 93-mile-per-hour four-seam, and then he'll reach back to get 97. So he's such a fun guy to watch on the mound. But I think you'll see him go to that knuckle curve more. I think you'll see him, work that cutter, and maybe you'll see some more changeup like he was using years ago. So I think so. Screw it, sign pitcher DMAC. Oh man, dude, I'd be giving up dingers all day long. I'd probably get like 2 outs, man. No, I wouldn't even get 1 out, man. I would get pulled right away. We got Sticky Icky Icky Ooh Wee. That's from Dodger Grizzly. Bueller Doug. That's from Lynn. How you doing, Lynn? Where have you been? Get one of these. We got Bauer has lost some of his control. Craig Osterberg. And by the way, yeah, we could talk about this all day. I do think that they should have a universal grip so people can at least, so pitchers can have better control and better command, and that way you'll have less hit batters, but it's really not the big factor. But so I think that a little happy medium there will definitely help them. And you got pitchers probably adjusting with the grip. So Paul Vaughn, Doug, would you trade Keibert Ruiz? I think it depends on who they're trading Keibert Ruiz for. Is he untouchable? In my opinion, I would say the answer is no, based on the fact that, one, Dodgers have Will Smith. Dodgers have Austin Barnes. Austin Barnes still has another year on his deal, and then Will Smith really is the catcher of the future that they're committed to, at least for the next 4 or 5 years in that stretch. And then you got Diego Cartaya. So I think that when you look at it that way, with all the catching depth in the show and then also in the farm system, I think that Keibert Ruiz is a guy that, not that I don't like him as a player, I think this guy is a potential has the potential to be one of the better catchers in baseball. But to me, I'm all about trying to cash in and win as many World Series titles as you can, because that's all that people remember. That's the reality, is that people remember the World Series titles. They don't remember the NLCS appearances or even the World Series appearances when you've gone as many times in recent history as the Dodgers. They remember when you win the final prize, the piece of metal, as Ms. Rob Manfred calls it. And I think if the Dodgers have an opportunity to get a piece that could really help them win this year, whether it be an elite reliever, a right-handed bat that can have a real impact, or even a starter. I mean, it's really, look, we have a long way to go before that July 30th deadline. And to me, I'm kind of going on a day-by-day basis with all this stuff based on who's in, who's out of that lineup. And we're almost to the middle of June, but I'm just kind of holding my breath during every Dodger game that guys are going to stay healthy. So I think that it can change. Everything can change in one pitch. Everything can change with one injury that could really present a need for the Dodgers. But in short, I would consider trading Keibert Ruiz. How about you guys? Let me know down below in the comments. Anthony Keene, I think Barnes needs to catch for Bauer. Him and Smith don't seem to vibe. Interesting take there. Look, I mean, Austin Barnes, great game caller, a great but look at Will Smith. I mean, he just caught Kershaw, and he had a great bounce back outing. 6 solid innings. He had 9 punch outs, I believe. And yeah, I mean, I just think that at this point in his career, Will Smith is a bat you want to see in the lineup. And when you don't have the run support that Bauer sometimes doesn't get, having trading out Will Smith for Austin Barnes might not be the best idea. But I'd be interested to see it maybe once. I mean, I wouldn't completely rule it out. I mean, I have so much respect for Barnes as a game caller and a catcher. But here we go. Bauer doesn't even look bad stuff-wise. He just lost his control as of late. But maybe that's the result rather than making your pitches nastier. It's from backup T1. Yeah, he definitely hasn't looked bad. But I mean, we're talking. You gotta. I think compare him to the standard that he set. I mean, a $40 million contract, a Cy Young Award winner. I mean, I think that's what kind of Dodger fans expected to see from him. And you're definitely going to expect more when you pay that kind of money for a pitcher. But like I said, if you look at the entirety of a season to this point, to me, he's been more than worth it. I wouldn't even think twice about making that deal if I was the Dodgers. I remember Jansen able to close the game. 2 of Bauer's runs were unearned on the Mookie error. That's from Pat Lieberman. Yeah. Bauer's overrated. That's from Chris over on Chris Canfield over on Facebook. We got backup T1. For him personally, he needs to step up in the regular season just because he's making $40 million. LOL. But the Dodgers just need him to step up when they need him. Yeah, I mean, but they're in a tight division race as of right now. I think the Padres are still coming, even though they had a little bit of a rough stretch there. They had lost, I think, 10 of their last 13 before today's win. So they had gone through a rough stretch just like the Dodgers had. They're going to be a team the Dodgers will have to deal with. And then when will the Giants fall off? You've seen some injuries start to pile up. Crawford was out. Then he was day-to-day. Then he's back in. Then you saw that Longoria is going to be out. But their pitching is still pitching really well with DeSclafani and Gosman in the gang. But J. Cruz, DMAC, in your thumbnails, why do you always use the pic that makes Bellinger look like he's finished smoking a joint? Hey, man, I got all kinds of stuff I use in the thumbnails, but maybe I'll switch it up for you, my man. Careless WP, is Fergie and Morrow impossible this season? Yeah, he's got second TJ for Ferguson, and then you got Morrow just wasn't ready to go. We got Doom. Bauer's struggling. We got Rayleigh played nice. Oh, my man, IB stroking, hooking up with $5, man. That's what I'm talking about. I miss the days when our biggest concern in hitting was whether or not Puig was going to kiss Turner Ward. Hashtag I miss Turner Ward. Yeah, those were some great days. I definitely agree with you on that one. Maynard, if MLB cared so much about sticky substances, they should have kept juice balls. Well, that's a good point, but I think what MLB wants to do is they want more action in the game because just all these three true outcomes with strikeouts, with the home runs, they want to see more action. They want to see more base hits, more action on the base pass. If you have the spin and the juice balls, you're basically going to have a game where it's who's going to hit the home runs tonight, and it makes it a much less nuanced game. And I think that ultimately is bad for the sport. I think home runs are good for the sport when you mix it in with action at the plate. But what made today's ninth inning exciting? What was it? What happened? You had base hits, you had walks, you had guys, you had traffic on the base pass, you had pitchers pitching with runners on. And to me, that's what's the most exciting about baseball. You got guys fouling off pitches. You have these big, intense at-bats, guys like Chris Taylor and Anthony Rizzo. So, look, I think that Major League Baseball, but to your point, though, Major League Baseball is definitely to blame. Absolutely. I mean, they're to blame for, one, messing with the baseball that's actually 1% lighter and doesn't fly as much, and you combine that with the fact that they weren't policing sticky stuff at all. They're the only ones to blame, really, in this situation. I mean, do you think that Adam Silver or any other do you think that Adam Silver or Roger Goodell would let this happen to this league? No, but the baseball has the weakest commissioner in sports right now. I mean, that's just the facts, okay? Rob Manfred is a very weak commissioner, and his instincts towards what's good and bad for baseball, I think, are probably the worst I've ever seen, really, for any commissioner that I've ever seen. So, yeah, absolutely he's to blame. I mean, Could you have, to your point too, could you have had a semi-juice ball? And then, because look, I mean, I'm a little, I want to see, I like seeing spin rates that it looks like they're wizards out there, where you have that perceived rise and you just have like dominant pitchers. I like seeing that too. But sometimes, like, Charlie Blackmon was saying in that Sports Illustrated piece, where you got these hitters that even when they're trying to time it up, their instincts are off because it's such an unnatural break on the ball that they're having issues even timing it up, even when they're kind of sitting dead red. Here we go. Paul Vaughn, Dodgers, DMAC for Dodgers assistant GM. That'd be sick. Yeah, man. Then you guys could hit me up, and I would basically we could work together on that. We could run the team all together. But Daniel Martin, is home Julio in a way Julio a thing? Not as much this year, but we got so pitchers are not using it now. This from back. Bauer is an innings eater. That's from Craig Osterberg. Yeah, and that's what I said when they signed him. I think that was the big thing. And a lot of people were saying, no, the Dodgers aren't going to allow him to pitch. And I said, no, Bauer would not sign with this team unless – because when you got the leverage for Trevor Bauer, you got the Mets offering you probably the same exact contract. And I think that Trevor Bauer went to the Dodgers and said, hey, I want to come here, but I also want to get my innings in. I want to – because he's the guy who thinks he pitches better when he's on shorter rest. He's throwing more pitches. He has a very specific system as to what's effective for him. And I think the Dodgers and Bauer and Friedman and the powers that be agreed to kind of working together and in specializing in kind of tailoring his outings to his skill set. But here we go. Unpopular opinion. I want Ketel Marte on the Dodgers. Strike Z. Hey man, I like that too. I'm not opposed to that. Gina Arms. So very proud of our boys in blue every day. Win or lose, Dodgers fan for life. I love that from Gina over on Facebook. We got Roger Kennard. Glad to see Zach Attack McKinstry putting the bat on the ball. Yeah. Let's trade Keibert Ruiz. And then what does Dave Roberts do when Will Smith and Austin Barnes both get injured? I mean, hopefully it's not the case, but, I mean, it's a fair question. But, I mean, you had Will Smith go down with the hamstring injury. Barnes, I mean, you want catching depth, but, yeah. I mean, to me, it's like we're already close to that July. When we get close to that July 30th, if there's a deal on the table that's attractive to pull the trigger on, I think that's what I would just consider. Because, like I said, it's about winning. I mean, this is the most win-now mode team I can think of. When you got Trevor Bauer, who can opt out after this year, when you got Clayton Kershaw on the twilight of his career, you got to win as many championships as you possibly can. Jose Gutierrez, do you think Seager will walk? That's really a question that keeps me up at night. I'm not going to lie to you, because I think that when it comes to Corey Seager, the big question is when he does return, how will he play? Will he rake the rest of the way? Will he stay healthy? How will he play in the postseason? Will he bring that hot bat with him that he had in 2020? Because if that's the case, then I think the Dodgers are going to make him a more than competitive offer. I think that a position change in the future is inevitable for him, but you also have the DH that's going to be coming in the NL. I think that's also inevitable. So to me, it's all about his stick. If he's Corey Slugger, I think you sign him $200+ million. I was pretty much against the anything in the $300 million range, but do I think he'll walk? I think the question is, does he want to be? Does he feel comfortable in LA? Because I think in LA, as far as the team goes, you saw last year he had his most successful season in the postseason and regular season, hitting behind Mookie Betts. And if Mookie Betts is going, he eats off that. You saw last year was projected to hit over 40 home runs. I thought that was going to be the case this year. So I think that it really comes down to how robust the market is going to be for him. Are there going to be teams that are going to really overpay for his services? I don't think the Dodgers will get into some massive bidding war for Corey Seager, but I do think they want to re-sign him. But personally, my gut instinct right now tells me I think he signs a deal. I think he gives the Dodgers a little discount, even though it's Scott Boras. I think that he ends up in L.A. I really do, as far as right now. Here we go. He did the YouTube thing last year, won the Cy Young. Oh, I don't think that has any impact at all. I don't think it has any impact whatsoever, anything he does on social media. It's not smog over L.A. We got J. Cruz. Dang, Walker Buehler hasn't lost since 2019. Yeah, I mean, I think his last loss was September 27, 2019. What's the news on Cody's injury? We kind of talked about that earlier, but basically he was available to pinch hit today. He had the hamstring strain. Seems to be fine. Remember, he thought it was a cramp, but Really, the DH in the NL, yeah, Steven Kaplan, that looks like that is what the players want. I mean, it seems like when it comes to collective bargaining, that's what they're going to push for. You got the pitchers; they don't want to bat, they don't want to be injured, and then you got these hitters that want more opportunities. But look, I mean, in the long run, that could help the Dodgers. I mean, if they have the DH, they don't limit themselves with certain players. I mean, look at Shohei Ohtani. He goes to the Angels, they have the DH. He wanted to bat, he wanted to pitch. I mean, there's going to be free agents like that in the future. How about like a Nelson Cruz this year? I mean, guys like that. I mean, there's all kinds of players that aren't options for you because you don't have that DH available. Me personally, I do like the strategy of the pitcher batting in the NL. I do definitely like that part, a little more dynamic, nuanced game in the senior circuit. But in the long run, I think for the evolution of baseball, it just seems like it's something that has been inevitable for quite some time at this point. So, and bottom line, that's just what I think they're going to do. So that's kind of what I'm focused on. But yeah. Are you guys DH? Do you guys like the DH or do you not like the DH? We got Roger Kennard. If the Dodgers trade Keibert Ruiz this season, I may see what UPS Brown in San Diego can do for me, or perhaps I'll become a Texas Rangers fan. Wow, Roger Kennard, you would change your Dodger allegiance if they traded Keibert Ruiz. That's pretty interesting. You must really like Keibert Ruiz. And, hey, man, I'm not mad at you. DMAC, we got Swaggy over on 90. DMAC, would you be open to signing Trevor Story if JT retires at Dodgers Nation? I don't think – I mean, they still have – he signed they still have a 2-year deal with JT, so he can sign that $34 million contract. So, I don't see Trevor Story head to the Dodgers. He's a great player, though, for sure, but I just don't see that as in the cards. Trev gives up too many homers. That's from Ron Jerica. Yeah, Trevor Bauer was, he's saying himself, he really kind of wants to get, he's given up 14 home runs this year. And 3 against the Cardinals, 2 against the Astros, 1 yesterday. I think he'll get to the bottom of that. He was talking about that. Yes, the DH, Michael Rangel, the DH is BS, not real baseball, but we do benefit the most because of our depth. Great point, Michael. Hannibal Hector, sup, Doug? I just wanted to touch base. Shout out to everyone with something positive to say. Hey, what up, Hannibal? How you doing? Always rocking with us here on the Dodgers Nation post-game show. But, yep, guys, where we at time-wise? Couple reminders. Be sure to head over to www.gearup.la for all latest Dodgers Nation t-shirts. Some of the best Dodgers t-shirt designs in the game. You're going to find it right over there at www.gearup.la. And then also, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel for all latest Dodgers news, rumors, high videos, podcasts, and more. You want to hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and if you want to see even more Dodgers content, smash that like button. So, got lots of new content coming this week. And then tomorrow, you've got the trade, you got the flagship show, the Blue Heaven podcast, hosted by the senior editors here at Dodgers Nation, Clint Pasillas and Brooke Smith. So be sure to rock with them on that. Then also check out my man Eric Yulo's show from 3 Up, 3 Down. Eric Yulo straight kills it on his show. I'm pretty sure we got a new video dropping with him tomorrow. But back to your guys' comments here. We got Dodgers fan for life from Denise. We got Anthony Keene. I was anti-DH. Oh, we got Tina Geeman too. Or actually, let's go up here. And let's try this because we had no DH from Pound for Pound. I like the DH from Masanori Kishihara over on YouTube. Then we got Michael, DH is BS. We got Deborah Young, yes, DH. Greg Tucker, I'm old school, no DH. Backup T1. Bruh, Keibert Ruiz. I'm going to get you a bruh for that one. Bruh. Keibert Ruiz hasn't even been on the team for more than a week, and this dude is ready to die for him, LOL. Tina Geeman, if they use the DH, it would be beneficial to the team. We got Anthony Keene. I was anti-DH, but now not sure. I'm not sure if I like it or if I like how Roberts manages with it. That's a great point that Dave Roberts, less decisions for Dave Roberts, and if you think that sometimes he has his hiccups when it comes to his managerial miscues, if you have the DH, I think that, yeah, I mean, it kind of limits that. But any news when Corey will return? So getting closer. I mean, he should hit a rehab assignment in 2 weeks. That's what Dave said yesterday. Dodgers fan for life. Hit that like button. That's from my man Moose over on YouTube. We got Jose Gutierrez. Will this be the week we get back in first place? I personally think they will. If you look at their schedule, you got the Phillies, you got the Diamondbacks, and then you got pretty much the Giants playing that same schedule. Dodgers playing much better baseball of late. So I definitely think this will be the week that they get back into first place in the NL West. But Justin Lamas, we share the same opponents as San Francisco next week, exactly. We got Bauer needs his control, especially his secondary pitches. We got Roy Estrada. We are in position dealing with a lot of injuries and still one game out. Relax, Dodger fans. We will bring it home. Yeah, that's a great point from Roy. Got to give you some love for that one. Is that they've overcame these injuries. I mean, this team could have really folded like Superman on laundry day with all these injuries that they've sustained. I mean, you had Dustin May. What team loses a team like Dustin May? And a lot of key pieces in that bullpen, a lot of position players. But they've still been able to tread water in the NL West, and they're in striking distance. And I think this Dodgers it finds a way to get that first place back this week. But what pitcher? We got Bauer kept batting, throwing hard though. We got Will should be the DH. If there is no DH, we have a better defense. What do you think is wrong with Belly? That's from Lauren. I think that what's wrong with Belly, I would say that he just needs time, and he needs time. I would stress patience with him and just kind of as far as what's wrong with him is that it's a strained hamstring, but as far as him getting really going, I think he's right there. I mean, he's hitting the ball harder. You're seeing some opposite field base hits. You saw some the dinger against the Phillies. I think that Cody Bellinger is he's going to be fine. He's going to be fine. I think that Cody Bellinger is going to have a really solid rest of the season. So, but Belly needs a haircut. Interesting. Roy, DMAC, keep bringing it, go blue, full capacity this week. Yeah, man, I'm excited about that, man. It's going to be big. We will overtake the dang Giants this week. That's from Deborah Young. Stephen Kaplan, what do you think about making Kenley a starter? Stephen Kaplan, I mean, I don't think that in an opener, I would definitely possibly consider it. But, I mean, these guys are, especially these specialized bullpen pieces, they're ramped up to kind of empty that tank to get those, 3, 4, 5, 6 out. So don't see that in the cards, but would be really interesting. Or maybe put him back at catcher. How about that? I mean, you talked about what if one of our guys goes down? What would we do if we trade Ruiz? We have Kenley could be catcher. Come on. Once everyone gets healthy, we will be hard to beat. That's from Doom Sal. Are you worried about the bullpen? That's from BBQ Beef Balboa. I think that if I had to pick one unit to be worried about, I'm not worried about the lineup. They're going to get it going. They already have it going. They average the most runs in the NL per game. But the starters, I still love our starters. I still think Tony Gonsolin, I'm not ready to pull the cord on that. I still am very confident that he gets it going. And, the punch-outs were there against the Pirates. It just the command wasn't. So still high on Tony Gonsolin. To me, I do think we could use some more Miss Bats style of bullpen pieces. So to me, if I had to pick one, I would definitely pick the bullpen. We got Dustin's injury has hurt the team the most this year. Justin, I think that I agree with that for the most part. I think that when you consider the totality of the season, the fact that it is a season-ending injury, and it kind of put the bullpen against the 8 ball with the 6 bullpen games this year. They pitched well in those games, but some of the times that they didn't come through when you had the starter, were they affected by that bullpen game? I think that's a fair question, but I think I agree with you on that one because it's a season ender. I'm not saying he's a better player than guys like Cody Bellinger and Corey Seager or guys like that, but this guy was really emerging as one of the best pitchers, as one of the most exciting pitchers to walk in the game. I call him Dustin Mania because I really thought that we were about to see a Dustin Mania, but he'll be back, he'll be fine. And I think that he'll be better than ever. I wouldn't worry about Keibert Ruiz. We still have Diego Cartaya. Felix, what up, Dodgers Nation? From rainy-ass Tacoma, Washington, where my own baseball game was canceled, but our boys got the series win. Yeah, man, it's good pros and cons right there, man. You got the rain out, but your boys won. But, hopefully the only thing that matters is you make up that game. I hate the rainouts where they don't make up the game, so make sure you make up that game. But, yep, guys, thanks for rocking with us after the Dodgers. Hold on for a 5-3 win against the against the Rangers. Sorry, my audio went out for a second. And now, just a game out first place. The Dodgers sitting at 39-26 in the NL West. A great game for Mookie Betts. Zach McKinstry played well today. Another solid outing for Walker Buehler. Bickford struggled late there, but Kenley Jansen came in and got the job done, and they got the win. But thanks for rocking with us, guys. Be sure to check out DodgersNation.com for all latest Dodgers news. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at DMAC_LA. That's at DMAC_LA. For all things Dodger baseball, be sure to head over to the Dodgers Nation YouTube channel at youtube.com/DodgersNationTV. But thanks again, guys, for rocking with us. As always, guys, you guys are the best fans in the game. You guys know that. But catch you next time. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And until next time, think blue, bleed blue, and I'm out.
It's time for Dodger baseball.
What a catch by Mookie Betts. Another home run for Corey Seager. Another strikeout for Kershaw. A robbery of Tatis. Gone. Will Smith. This is what an ace looks like.
And tag out is Riley, a double play.